Hello, everyone. It is Ken here, Basketball Rewind, and we are going live to talk about this week. And more importantly, beyond this week, we're going to talk about the game today. Beyond the Locker Room is going to be joining me shortly, and we're going to talk a little bit of things beyond the Raptors. But first things first, let's look ahead. So the Raptors have I can't say their first cup game because they're 4-0 in the cup, but they actually have a cup game coming up against the Knicks. They are now in the playoffs of the NBA Cup, so stay tuned. If you have been watching my shorts and stuff like that, you know that I've been previewing those things, and so that is something to definitely stay tuned. Um, there we go. The man, the myth, the legend is here. We're just gonna wait till he's all uploaded. But yeah, so um, hey, Beyond, how's it going?
Good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. So yeah, I just started a little bit early this time, and I just was saying, uh, kind of looking at the week ahead, what is to uh, come up before we discuss what just happened.
Hmm.
Um, so basically, yeah, like the week ahead is um, gonna be a shortened week. It's gonna be a little bit of a different week because, of course, we have the NBA Cup, so you're gonna see a gap in the games. There's only really gonna be one game on the 13th, and that's gonna be against the New York Knickerbockers, your dad's favorite team.
Hmm. Yes.
And so begrudgingly so sometimes. So um, yeah, we're definitely gonna watch out as well. One kind of note for the stream. Again, like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna have to show less video because I mean that video we were getting lots of views, but unfortunately we showed a bit too much video, and so it got taken down. So all of a sudden, when I went to go look at the video the next day, video didn't exist. So I was like, "What happened?"
NBA
Uh,
isn't play, man. It's like they didn't waste time at all, man.
Yeah, so so hey, that's okay, that happens. Um so yeah, we'll see. It's obviously going to be the quarterfinals. Let's get into the past week. The Raptors had a tough schedule. They went 0 and 2, if I'm not
Hmm.
mistaken. Sorry, 0 and 3. Eh, we are now into December. Um they won, sorry, is it 0 and 3? No, they won against Portland. So they are
Yes.
1 and 3. My bad if we're counting the Sunday, because I think
Yeah.
the last time we talked, it was right before the Knicks game, if I'm
Yes.
not mistaken. So because
Uh-huh.
we talked on Saturday. So you look at the Knicks game, that was kind of a harbinger for things to come. Because again, people keep complaining about things like the center. And I'm just going to put the score on the screen right now. Again, 94 points. It was scored by the Raptors. And of course, RJ Barrett was not here. And right here, you see a certain Mr. Darko searching for lineups. Now, we did see some light at the end of the tunnel through these series of games. We, of course, saw more CMB minutes. So that was a revelation. I think some guys are punching up as high as they can, like Mamukavishvili, not necessarily in this game, but he's
Well
had.
done.
Yeah. Sorry, did you say about time?
No, you're saying well done by you with the name, man. You've been practicing.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Oh yeah, I just realized I said his whole name.
Yeah, man. Yo,
um,
no hesitation, nothing, man. That's impressive.
so so yeah. But what has really happened is, and we're gonna focus on this right here, has been Ingram's last couple games. Ingram has really struggled through this stretch. We can obviously start through here. But yeah, it has not been pretty. Now, if we look at the past 5 games with Ingram, and we're gonna look at it right here. I'm gonna ignore the box plus minus type stuff. But again, I think the key thing here, don't worry about the amount of points. Focus on what's happening right in this zone. So I don't think that this includes the game tonight. So the game tonight, I think he shot 50%. But
Hmm.
working backwards, the Charlotte game was rough. He was 3 of 13. Okay. He he has not gotten to the line. So that's the other thing, is that he had like out of the past 5 games that's showing here, and technically you can kind of take out the last game and kind of insert the other game right here. But sure, we'll go all the way back to Charlotte. He's been emptying the clip with some regards, and only 2 of the games he's been able to get to the line. And Ingram is one of your best players at getting to the line, especially with RJ out. Scotty has done a good job of doing his best to get to the line, but this team in general does not get to the line. And we are seeing it because the way that they can control or shift the pace of the game, it's kind of playing out for all to see right away. And so oh, uh, again against the Lakers, 0 of 6 from deep. So there's a lot of emptying the clip. And then the other issue that we have is that Ingram's turnovers are now coming through and being seen in very different ways. And it's nasty. And the problem is that when his shot isn't working, he starts to rush his playmaking opportunities, and when he's rushing his playmaking opportunities, the playmaking that people thought was going to be there in from the Pelicans, which could be partially the scheme related stuff that we saw in the Pelicans, it's just not there. It's not there. So um, let's start there. What are your thoughts on this week? I know I didn't go through the entire week, but just really quickly. So yeah, loss against the Knicks, lost tonight against the Celtics, win against the Portland Trailblazers, and LeBron came through. I can't say Luka. LeBron came through with the game-winning assist.
I mean, this week I think is more and more prevalent that this team is quite soft. There's a lack of physicality across the board. This issue with the free throw shooting has always been an issue with it. Quite honestly, since Darko's been here, the offense that he runs does not produce or manufacture free throw attempts. And with a team that doesn't really have a go-to one-on-one type of guy, could produce a lot of free throw attempts. I mean, Ingram's a close thing to it, but even we see with him, teams are getting more and more physical with him, and it's becoming an issue with him where he's getting bounced off his spot more and more, and he's pulling up for some really bad-looking shots. I mean, he takes some of the toughest shots I've seen in a long time. And when he's frustrated, he's not getting, his shot's not going in. He gets a little more frustrated, and he takes even worse shots. So I think that's where RJ does come into play, where you just have another guy at least make a play of some sort on offense.
Yeah,
they have issues when it comes. They have issues across the board in so many different ways. They have issues with their point guard play still. Like when I don't understand, like no doubt Shed's been a very good player off the bench. I'm not taking this away from him, but to have him and then have Quickly out there, I mean, it makes some sense, I guess, offensively, but boy, you are really asking for trouble on defense. You're just way too small.
that's the problem, right? Like I know that other teams, like even the Celtics that we just played, they did a double guard lineup for huge swaths of the game, but at the same time, it's like Derek White is like 6'5", and then you have Peyton Pritchard, so
right.
It's like who's like 6'3". So you do that versus you're trying to do this like Lowry Fred VanVleet thing. Lowry was an extremely underrated point guard, and then like neither of them is shooting. Oh, I guess Quickly shooting, at times well, but yeah.
But I think just if you're trying to mimic that Lowry VanVleet situation, both Lowry and VanVleet were very stout and very good at playing on switches, so you could get away with that in this case. They play bigger than their size. These guys, going back to physicality, they were physical guards. These guys aren't physical guards. Like, Shed is pretty physical on the most part, but like he only has a 6-foot guy to do so much. Like the rest of the team is pretty soft, like Sharman, quite honestly with you. And one of the few guys I think has some physicality, it seems like, and this was my concern in this case here when you got picked up, is like, hey folks, if you guys want all these free agents and you want guys for trades, this is my point. The young guys are going to suffer. That was my concern at the beginning of the season. So everybody's killing Grady and killing Jacoby and killing, and why CMB's not playing minutes. This is what you ask for. When you bring on guys like Mamu and you bring on Brandon Ingram, and you see a man that's right now trying to keep his job, he's going to play vets. And this is what you get. Now you say, oh, you know what? Yeah, I get it. Grady's not playing great. Jacoby's had some real tough moments where he's missing like layups. But part of the reason why these guys aren't playing great is like young players need minutes. They just need to be minutes, and you can't get hooked every time you make a mistake. They just need minutes. And I understand saying like that, but part of it is psychology that some folks just don't understand. It's like, guys, you just say go out there and shoot and just hit a shot. It doesn't work that way. Certain guys aren't wired that way. You're talking about first round picks in this case that were like top players at college. They're not wired to be just spotting up from three and playing 5 minutes a game like Jameson Battle. He's a journeyman. He's built for that. They are not built for coming out of school, coming out of high school, coming out of college. That's not their mentality. And now you're having them now playing spot minutes here, there, and everywhere. And it's like, I don't see, for the guy supposed to be the Mr. Development, I don't see a lot of development going on out here.
Yeah, I think so. Here's where I stand on that. Number one, I don't have an issue with Mamu. I think he gets picked on sometimes a little bit much by some that wanted a center. And I understand it, but I don't think the team construction is not really great to begin with, right? That's the reality. And hey Brandon, I will get to your comment in just a second for sure. But I think that's that. He's not really competing against anyone because at the end of the day, they want to see. They're trying to basically get a younger version of what they thought that they had in Kelly Olynyk, and I think he's done his job well, right?
Well, okay, I will respectfully disagree with that because I think he is impacting in this case here minutes for certain guys because
he should not be impacting minutes for CMB.
CMB, one in particular, because if you're telling me CMB, where's CMB going to get minutes? He only can get minutes in two spots. Backing up Scotty, and if Scotty's playing 30 some odd minutes a game, that's not a lot of minutes he's going to get. And playing a backup center sometimes. And if Mamu's playing more minutes than extended periods of time, he's not getting minutes there either.
So I'm going to just ignore who the coach is, okay? And I'll say how I would distribute the minutes, okay? To me, there's no reason why CMB shouldn't get 20 minutes a night between two spots. The small forward spot as the backup and the power forward spot, and let Mamu take all of the center spot minutes. There's no reason why. I would also not be playing Scotty's 36 minutes. I would be playing him closer to 32 because one of the things that a lot of people complained about was the fact that, hey, at the end of the day, you have a lot of guys that are playing too many minutes under the Nick Nurse era. So all of a sudden we're back up into maybe not 40 minutes or 38 minutes, but you're creeping up close to that. And so I think that we should be aiming to get the minutes down and sacrifice some, like, I mean, you built a lead, you're 14 and whatever, you have a little room to play, get some of these guys minutes because it will matter down the stretch when guys are getting injured and in and out of the lineup. Now I will say this, part of the reason why CMB has not played as much, to give Darko a bit of leeway, is this. CMB, the way he plays so far, getting used to the NBA, has been a little bit physical with how he plays, and he's been in and out of the lineups with injuries. So that could be part of it, but I don't think that tells the whole story, to be fair.
He played 4 minutes tonight.
I'm excluding tonight.
I'm just putting it for the crowd here. 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
If you had to say what is a CMB type of game who he's playing today, would the Boston Celtics not be would it be numero uno on that list? A team that wants to switch on everything?
There's one person that's really stealing his minutes, and it's not Mamu. Because Mamu's getting 23 minutes. I'll put it up. Mamu's getting 23 minutes. Right? Mamu is right here. Okay? There's another person that is 2 spots above Mamu who's getting 22 minutes. And that person is the person that is taking the CMB minutes. Well, that's your answer right there.
Oh, let's see here. Okay.
It's Ochai.
Ochai. Well, don't well see the Ochai minutes in my mind are the Grady and Walter minutes. That's
He's
the
taking
word.
minutes from everyone, and
Right.
and then all of a sudden you have AJ Lawson getting minutes.
Right. Now we got AJ Lawson now that to make things even more complicated. That's all. I'm just looking around like, okay, you don't have a lot of size to begin with. So in this case here, you're essentially forced now to play CMB as a front court player. So him playing as a three is dead at this point, considering the roster on the team. Thank you, Bobby Webster.
Well, right
Right.
now, him playing period is dead.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. So this goes back to my point. So when everyone's killing these guys, these young fellas, be it great. This is your last 3 first-round picks, and getting sporadic minutes. Like this is ridiculous. So Gray's got 7 minutes right now. Walter in this case here got 11 minutes or 12 minutes. CMB was almost close to a DMP. And I'm gonna sit here and go like, okay, so what are we doing here? Because the vets ain't getting it done. So you might as well play the young fellas and take some lumps that way, and then at least let them grow.
Yeah.
Like this is just rushery. So now we're gonna have AJ Lawson save the day. That's what we're planning to do now.
So for folks, we didn't go through today's game, but yes, I mean I have said that they did lose.
Yeah.
It's sad that Chris Boucher couldn't get
I
into
mean,
the
Sunday,
game.
guys.
Yeah, I mean, but here's the thing. I turned it on because I been busy studying and all that, and all of a sudden I see this right, almost 80 points in the half. Okay. Yes, they had a good bounce back the third quarter. The other team had 80 points in a half.
Kenyon, did you think anyone thought this team was going to come back today?
They tried. They tried.
No one thought this team would win this game, even with their comeback.
Yeah, the one thing I wish about this chart is I wish you could kind of look quarter by quarter, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, right? And I hear Brendan Lee saying free throws, and we're not getting enough free throws. Partially, we're not drawing enough free throws because of the way that guys play. Barnes plays in a way where he tends to play a little bit more recklessly with his body in terms of like bullying into people. And so if you're doing that and also you're unbalanced, which is why I keep saying his footwork needs a lot of work, you're not in a place to even like kind of fake into like getting hurt or sorry, not hurt, but hit. Because every single thing looks like you're out of control. And to be fair, there's a lot of times where I see him shove a guy like that. That's a foul, right? So again, I'm going to do the motion, take it. When you're going like that, that's a foul. They don't call it on him. I've seen Walter hack up a guy. He's played some good defense, but he's also hacked up guys. So I think that the yes, you could argue to what you said before, Lee. You could definitely argue that free throws, there's a free throw discrepancy, but it's also a play style because we do purposefully play a bit more of a handsy style, which is intentionally trying to slow down the other team, ramp up the defensive numbers, and control the pace on your end in a way where where that is a thing. Now, I wrote some notes down. One of the notes that I wrote is that the problem is that young guys with are not getting rewarded with consistency and their minutes. So, for example, CMB, someone say, "Oh, well, he's foul prone. He had three fouls in 13 minutes. Let him play through it."
That's my point. You can't ask young guys to play, especially guys that want to hit the shoot and then mess with the confidence. Be it Walter or Walter or Grady or CMB, and keep putting the hook on them every 5 minutes when they mess up.
Can I get to this comment?
Yeah.
Blackhawk, I got to speak to you directly. I said this 2 years ago, okay? And you wanted this man to play. And now this man's playing. This is the problem. When I say that we have minute issues, okay? Because this is a good example. So Blackhawk basically says Ochai will be traded, and if you don't want Ochai to get the minutes, then you let him walk at the end of the season. This is why Ochai should have been traded last year, so that he's not taking minutes away from guys who are going to be here for long term. It is not anything personal against Ochai, but we got to keep it moving. I said the same thing about Davion Mitchell. I'm like, Davion Mitchell is a fine player. I don't think that they're going to pay him. Trade him. Move on from him. They did. People were like, "Oh no, we got to see, and maybe he gets $10 million here." I don't care about the money. I don't think that he needs to be playing here because you have young guys that you are committing to. Sorry, that's my random rant. Go for it.
I just don't understand why Raptor fans always have so much endearment for scrubs. I really don't get it. Be it with Malachi Flynn or Ochai Agbaji or the corpse of Kelly Olynyk, I don't get it in this case here, man. Like
So
seriously.
careful. We got in trouble because Kelly Olynyk. It's like he's not really a corpse. Well, no, you don't say he's not really a corpse. I am aware that he's alive. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am aware that he is physically alive. He is
Have you
only
seen him play
playing like
defense?
every
That's the
third
reason
game
why.
for the Spurs, and maybe
Have you
like
seen
3 minutes
play?
at that, where they have
Right.
no center except for
Right.
Luke Cornett.
Right.
Yeah,
Have you
his
seen him
days
play
are
defense?
done.
Yeah. Have you seen him play defense? That's the reason why I call him a corpse, man. Like, give me a break. Elijah Martin. Like, give me a break with this, man. Like, wait, yes, we play Elijah Martin tonight, coach. I don't know. The desperation was serious. You know it was serious, so you're trying to get a win. Well, Elijah Martin got time tonight. Let's put it that way. That was the break glass in case of emergency moment when AJ Lawson and Elijah Martin got in the game. It's like, well, what the heck? Kids,
Right.
you want a piece of this action? Sure. And lo and behold, it worked out because the guys were hungry to get some minutes. Great. They
Well,
made
and if you're playing for the future, again, CMB is a top 9 pick. Like great, these guys, whether they're good or bad, you have to see what you. This is why I keep saying you have to evaluate. You have to see what you have over a certain period of time before you have no time. Like a Malachi Flynn, have we learned nothing? Okay,
No,
I need to know. Yeah, I know we haven't. I need to know what Grady is by the end of the season, good, bad, or ugly. I need to know what Jacoby is before the end of next season. I need to know what CMB is. They should be purposefully running. I'm not saying their whole offense, but like CMB should get like 5 purposeful looks a game.
It's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous.
That's it. Just give him the ball 5 times in an entire game purposefully. We're gonna run you in this specific type of action to get you things in your comfort zone. See if you can really excel in this area or whatever.
As I said before, you wonder why in this case here, I had no interest in Bobby Webster having this job because, as I said before, you can't have the
my choice either. So
you can't. Yeah, that's fine. I'm just saying straight. You can't have the arsonist out there and then tell he coming back here pretending he's the fire chief. No. Dude.
Correction. I don't think that they're trying to lose. I've never thought that they're trying to lose. Last year, I didn't think that they were trying to lose. I think that this man is trying to keep his job.
Yes. Which is why he's playing a bunch of guys.
But at the same time, it's like there should be a mandate from the top on down. Bobby, Ding, Pelly. Listen, I pay for. Well, I mean, I don't pay for Rogers no more, but I used to pay for Rogers. So I used to be a stakeholder in this. And let me tell you, okay, maybe it's time to keep it. Like we got to make some decisions here, folks. And for all those who were saying, I am a terrible person for saying that I didn't feel comfortable with the move of Brandon Ingram. It was, as I said then, Brandon Ingram is a fine player. He's probably going to be one of the, I said, there's going to be moments next year that he's going to be one of the fan favorites because of his style of play and his aesthetically pleasing game. But I said, it is not the move that I would make, because I didn't think that we were ready. And I still don't think. And who knows? Maybe we end up top 5 or top 3 and we go and we can plan out the ticker tape parade on the, on whatever show you guys want to do. That it could very well happen. But the reality is, being more pragmatic, I don't necessarily see that happening. We have guys asking if BI is tired already. Okay. And it is game 24, 25 of the season.
Like that. 25,
I mean, he's played more this season than last season. Can we just trade for Walker Kessler? Walker Kessler is out for the next few months. What is that going to do for you? And then you have to pay him, by the way.
Right.
He's not running on the bench. He's rehabbing. Wrong R word.
I just don't understand what we're looking at with this team. I mean, like this team, this is the reason why I didn't really trust this 9-game winning streak. Because he called me the Grinch or whatever. I'm just looking at the team as like, this team doesn't even make sense for them to win 9 straight games. But they caught lightning in a bottle for about 2 weeks, and
How
now it's
could you
coming back.
say that about Christmas?
I gotta say it, man. Call me the Grinch, man. But
Those who know, know.
I just, yeah, I'm just shaking my head with this team. Like, it's just so, it still comes back the same thing. It's rudderless.
Oh, coach
I don't
is
know what
asking
we're
a
doing.
question.
Yes, I do.
He's pulling a Nick Nurse here.
Yeah, damn right, man. Nick Nurse can do it. I believe I can do it. More news on that another time, though, Coach. Believe me,
Yes.
yeah.
I might have to ask you about that offline.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just yeah. CMB is already looking good. He just got he has to follow. Yeah, but you should play him through those things and then tell him after these are the mistakes. So that's how you do the correction with young guys. Is you can't have guys playing scared and looking over their shoulder like a puppy that's been abused. Okay, you have to have the guy like truly where it's like shaking and it's like okay, just so no, you have to actually let the young guys play through.
You know,
Grady is a rhythm player. You have a lot of rhythm players, and then
yes.
if you're not giving them the ball or letting them play through mistakes, they play like their sphincter is puckered
You know,
half the time.
the ironic part? The one player they've let play through all his mistakes in the position where, in this case, it has the most consequences, they've let him do so. That's been Shed.
Yes.
He gets 25 minutes almost guaranteed, if not more.
To be fair, we know what position Darko likes.
Yes, that's my point. That's the only dude that gets any consistent minutes of, quote, the young guys.
Yeah.
And at times last year, Shed was real rough. He's had a few
times
rough
this
moments.
year he's been rough as well.
He's had come, he's played well.
He's been better. He's been better, but I just say like that not this game, but the game before.
Yeah,
he made some rough decisions
that's
with him.
But you don't see him getting a quick hook. And I'm just over it with this all the time, man. It's, it's like like this reductive thing, like, oh, Grady see ball, Grady shoot ball, Grady hit the shot. No, it don't work that way, guys. It doesn't work that way.
So Brandon Lee, this is my point. Okay, what is the difference between last year when he had straight games of 30, he was averaging around 18 points a game for the first 20 games of the season, and now? Part of it is that when certain guys are on the floor with him, he doesn't see the ball. Go back during that stretch. I'm not putting it all on this guy, but a certain Mr. person wasn't on the floor. And he wasn't super speedy, shall I say. In other words, quickly was not playing.
Yeah. Like, don't even start with quickly. Because quickly only seems to have eyes for about 2 players, and that's about it.
Because that's the only passes that he can make.
It's ridiculous. Like
and listen, I've been tough on Grady. So my whole point is with Grady, this is a nuanced discussion here. Grady both needs to hit his shots. He needs to make better decisions. He can't play scared. And yes, his defense has improved. However, it needs to get better. However, the coach doesn't help those things. You got to have ways to build guys' confidence. You pick your favorite player who is a young guy who is on that bench, not named Ochai, please, because he's not young. Who's someone? Here's the criteria: under 25. sorry, Ochai, you're not making the cut there.
Right. Under 25, not named Scotty Barnes.
Yes, not named Scotty Barnes. Where's the consistency in minutes? Where's the development?
Absolutely not. It's ridiculous, man. And the thing that really kind of gets me irritated about this, the reason why I'm kind of going with the Grady point is that Grady's everyone's favorite whipping boy, favorite person to pick on when things go wrong. As if Grady's impact in this case here is the reason why
Grady's has the highest number of touches on the team.
Right, like Grady's the franchise player or something like that. It's like, what the heck? Like, really, guys? You're showing your hand. You're showing me what you're about. No one really wants to get to who the real culprits are in this case here when things are going wrong. But it was like, oh, we're gonna go jump on Grady. Grady's getting 7 minutes a game. That's the guy you're gonna pick on? No, dude. There's a few other fellas that got get in line first on that witness on that line first. No.
I thought you almost said witness protection program.
Exactly. Yeah. No, man. Talk about Mr. Quickly. Talk about him. Talk about Mamu in this case getting extended minutes in this case here and can't defend to save his life.
Effie, you're right. This is why I said under 25. He don't make the cut.
Make the cut. Good. Gone. He shouldn't even be on the team. Ugh, gone. Just guys just wasting our time right now, man. There's a reason why I wasn't, reason why I wasn't down with the Mamu pick for two reasons. One, if you're going to pick someone, get a real center. And two, I said it before, I said it again. I know you and I disagree on this. I still feel in this case here, in some ways, he's kind of interrupting the CMB minutes because you can't have both of them on the floor at the same time. They tried it, but it hasn't really worked out. And in this case here, we know in this case here, Darko will stick with that bet. So that's the reason why I saw that pick. It's like, oh boy, one more guy that the wait to eat.
Well, 22 minutes would have been, or 23 minutes. Sorry, my bad. 23 minutes would have been freed up today had Ochai not played. So, can we start with that? Because that would affect three players.
Well,
sometimes he plays power forward too. Power forward.
But it's Grady in this case here has caused the defense. I must have been Grady there with the 77 points put on you in the halftime, right? Okay, guys. So keep telling yourself fairy tales.
So I do want to get to some of the Brandon Ingram shots. I'm not trying to beat up on Brandon Ingram here. Sorry, Brandon Lee. This is not because your name is Brandon. But yeah, I do want to get to some of these Brandon Ingram shots, and because this is your offense. This is the offense that Darko is trying to build. Right. And so you have a thing like this. You have plenty of time on the clock. You have enough time to even reset the clock. I would not reset it with.
Okay, I got something already as the issue. Oh, my God.
Okay. So before you say, maybe we're going to say the same thing. Brandon Ingram, you are 6'10". I give Scotty. Okay. Yeah. So it's like you are 6'10". I give Scotty the same flack because I've seen Scotty do this type of crap with Trae Young. And it's just like, dude, you're 6'10". You're being guarded by who? Who is this man? This is Peyton Pritchard. Okay, Peyton Pritchard. Okay, this guy is not like he is almost standing straight up and he's at your shoulder, and you're like leaning here, looking like you're like Jordan or something. Like, dude, just take the dude into the post and dunk it on this dude, or do something, or pass the ball up. Okay, 0.5 offense. No 5 offense.
Look at this guy.
There's still time on the clock, by the way. And then he bailed him out too, right there.
But look at the stupidity that we're looking at. Sorry, this is stupidity. Rewind the tape.
Like why take that dribble and now you can't take another dribble?
Hold on. Why are we pump faking a 6'2" guard? They can't jump. Like, what the hell are we doing? Just shoot the ball over him.
Just pull up. Just pull up.
Right.
Like you could have done that long ago, man.
Done that the first time. This is the stupidity we're dealing with.
Nah, we got to cook.
Right.
Like
gotta
feel the guy on my back.
Let me practice in the mirror in this case here. So I'm gonna go reverse pivot and kill my dribble on a 6'2" guard can't jump. Like, what the hell are we doing out here, man?
Like you're telling me this is a good shot? I can't ask if he practices the shot because I know that he practices that shot.
Like, this is ridiculous.
And he gets fed again. Like it starts off, he's like, no. Like
he had the shot there.
Like he had the shot there. He's like, no, this ain't right. I gotta cook him again.
He's up further than he was the first time.
Okay, I gotta back. Boom. Like,
jeez, man.
What are we doing?
I mean, Pelican fans, I apologize to you if I ever give you grief, man. Because my gosh, man.
It's just like, what is going on? I promise it's not all the Ingram highlights, but it's like these are not good shots. Like
3 green jerseys.
Look. Mamu's wide open. Brady's wide open.
Oh, really?
Ochai is not wide open, by the way, folks. I don't know what Shed's doing here.
He's a better shot right now for a shovel pass.
He is, but I just don't know what he's doing here, but sure. So let me just go back. Okay, I see. He's trying to get out of the way, and then he came out. And
I mean,
the funny thing is that Grady's pointing to him, and Grady's pointing to the corner, but really, you are actually the outlet valve here.
Well, Mamu behind him, really, he's just sitting there waiting for Mamu.
Mamu's the easier one, yeah. Especially since Grady's defender is actually kind of like partially like there.
I mean,
but yeah. Like you have 1, 2, 3 jerseys, and to your point, you pass here, and that will if this guy closes out, that's an open shot for Grady. That's good offense.
You I'm just saying, I'm not even picking on Ingram in this case here, because I saw some ridiculous by Scotty and Charlotte game where we're going to switch.
Yep.
Miles Bridges, in this case, was not on him, and he switched to get Bridges on him. I'm like, okay, that makes sense.
Yes,
Like,
Scotty does that all the time, where he will switch for the tougher defender to go. But you know why that is? It's because of the handle and stuff.
Yeah, that worked out well. I see how Bridges was playing pretty much in those Charlotte games. Yeah, that's worked out well. Like, give me a break. Like, what the hell are we like? And don't start with Quickly, because he's like a whole. He's like a whole.
We talk about Quickly enough on this thing.
Well, going
Quickly
back
is like.
Well, this is important when it comes to him and the Quickly. We always talk about all the free throws. One thing, Darko offense is producing jump shots. That's what his offense does. Okay, he'll post nobody up. Second thing, talk real talk, since folks want to talk real talk. Second thing, Brandon Ingram's gonna fade away on like 4 out of 5 shots. You're not getting free throws that way. Third thing,
which is why Scotty doesn't get a lot of or he gets more free throws this year, I believe.
Because he's getting switches. He's just going to the hoop.
Well, but also he's going into guys, right?
Going into guys.
Last year he was doing a lot of fadeaways, and again, to your point, the fadeaway is a counter, because if you're fading away, right? So I'm gonna just get rid of this. If I'm fading away, the chances that the refs will call some sort of contact here is less likely than if you're initiating the contact and going up, right?
Exactly. So, and then the third
people just say that we box score watch, but go on.
Yeah, and then the third one's Quickly, who throws up floaters. You're not getting free throws on floaters. So
plus he's not a good, like, the floater's just not a good shot.
Right. But who are these guys producing these free throws? Right? Like, this is the thing.
Whoever they are, we got to stay away from them, because 90 to
100 minutes between the three of them. So, folks, I plan to get ignorant this Sunday night, because I'm just tired of this nonsense I'm hearing from Raptor fans. Seriously.
So let's watch this next play. So you have Shed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Shed is the point guard. Okay. First of all, if I'm Scotty and you're trying to get the ball, quote unquote, as basically a post up, you should be positioning yourself closer into the paint.
Yes.
You have Derek White on you. You need to be fighting for position lower down. So that's the first thing. The second thing, there's 7 seconds on the clock. You got to make a decision quickly. No pun intended. I don't know what this man's doing here, because he's not doing anything and no one's paying attention to him, which is why I always say that sometimes they play better without him on the court, because this center is not paying attention to this man. And this guy is watching for him to close that out. This is Peyton Pritchard, I believe. But really, you have 2 guys that can sink into the paint and watch for extra driving lanes, because they don't have to guard the center anywhere beyond here. Let's play. 6 seconds. He's like, oh man, I gotta pass to the man. Gotta pass to Jordan. 4 seconds. Okay. What is this? What is this?
You know what?
That's a bailout shot.
I'm going to say something. I'm going to put this one on Ingram.
I'm not putting it on Ingram. I'm putting that one is on Shed.
Exactly. That's on Shed. Exactly. Because the play was dead the moment you started the play. Because this was happening all night.
Yes.
Boston was switching guys back once they realized they were a mismatch, and Toronto was letting them get away with it all night long. If you're the point guard and you see Peyton Pritchard on Scotty Barnes, what are you dribbling around for? Just throw the ball right back into him. Like, what are we doing? What you got to go practice your dribbling? Like, just throw the ball in there. And you give Boston a chance to walk a switch back so they get Derek White on him. All night they were doing that. All night. And sitting there and watch this nonsense.
Like, this is your offense, folks. Pirtle is initiating because, again, Pirtle is not a threat. This guy, I cannot pronounce his name, but Boston's current center is basically able to guard you from like 5-6 feet away and guard for the passing lanes and sit on the passing lanes. Even though apparently Boston isn't, well coached, but say la vie. So at least someone's reading the scouting report. Sit on the passing lanes. So all of these passing lanes are guarded. You don't have to guard Pirtle. And then again, Ingram's cutting. Good for Ingram. Yay! Clap your hand for Ingram. Okay. Guess what? That's guarded. 2 guys are guarding him. Now you have the matchup that you want. You have Jay Brown on Ingram. That is the matchup that they want. That is not a mismatch. That is what they want here.
They want that.
No, not the Raptors. I mean the
Oh,
Celtics.
Celtic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Wrong team.
With
Um
the Raptors is possible.
and now to be fair, he kind of got him here a little bit, right? He kind of got
Yeah.
him. He faked him out of his shoes, got him. But you also have a second guy that's here
Mm-hmm.
because they are ignoring
Walsh.
whoever the heck this is in the corners. It was like Ochai or
I
some
think it's
dude.
Walsh. I think it's Joe
Some
Walsh.
some some poor sucker that gladly got minutes. Okay.
Yeah. He plays consistent minutes for them. Yeah, but that's a
And,
heck of a shot, woman. But
and it is a heck of a shot, but not
that's a tough diet, man.
that's a tough diet to live on. That like looking at his shot chart will not give you the full picture,
Nope.
right? Um, you know, it will not give you the full picture.
Oh my gosh, team is like, man. I try not to have this team raise my blood pressure, and for the most part, they don't. But sometimes when I just see ridiculous plays where I'm sitting there like nonsensical things like a high school team that can figure out.
He picks up his dribble way too often. Like right here, you should not you picked it up one step too early. Hold on to that dribble and then reset it if you have to. Because right
Honestly,
there, you're bailing them out.
I really think that Brandon Ingram was like, an evil Knievel for younger folks in this case who used to do a crazy bunch of motorcycle tricks and go through fire loops and stuff like that and go jump off of cliffs and stuff like that. I honestly think Brandon Ingram has a bit of an evil Knievel streak in him. Like he wants to say, let me find the most difficult shot I can make in this possession. Like literally, I must admit, having a full front row view of Brandon Ingram this year compared to just watching his spot plays, I've always known this about Brandon Ingram, but watching it every night, it is so well done. So it is so well done. Great timing. It's something to behold. It's like, why are we making this shot so much more difficult than it has to be and go through fire hoops? Like, why are we doing this? Oh my gosh. This team, man, I tell you, man, this team, man, good grief, this team. You
Oh
know what?
man.
I'll say this one thing, man. This one's for Coach, man. I'll say this right now, man. God bless him, man. One thing I always count with RJ, man. RJ knows his strengths and RJ knows his limitations. And one thing I know with RJ, I don't have to worry about this case where RJ knows where he's gonna get his shots from and what's his right matchups. Yeah, pretty much RJ knows what he's gonna do. He ain't gonna be trying to twist around these crazy type of shots like this, or get wrong matchups. In this case, like Scotty. I mean, it just. Oh my gosh, it's so painful sometimes.
So I'll give you a good example of like a Scotty thing from tonight. That this is really good process. The finish wasn't there, but this is a good process by him. Okay, so they get the rebound. This is early on in the game. It was all downhill from there.
0-0.
Right there. Right? Look at that post position. He gets into position right there. He also has options. So if this guy sinks down, this looks like I want to say Charlie Villanueva, but I think it's
No, it's Joe Walsh. I think that's the Walsh stuff.
Yeah,
Jim Walsh, Joe Walsh.
Jordan Walsh. But yeah, I knew it wasn't Charlie V, but it's like the guy that looks like it because I think
he has a look like
alopecia or whatever. So
yeah, he has a look like it.
So okay, right there, if you wanted to kick out to Walter, it's a little bit like technically is it yeah, this is Walter. If Walter technically Walter should still be streaking down but slowing down as he streaks down. But this is good play. This is good process. Very good process. Okay? But he's like, "You know what? I'm bigger than the guy, so I'm going to back him down and go." He doesn't even do the two moves, boom boom. He just goes boom, nice. Go. That's is good process.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
However,
he's become pretty
he's a little bit too strong with that one.
Yeah, with the left, he's getting better and better with the left. I think that's a bit, it's a tough shot. I mean, it's Derek White. He's playing for the right. He's no fool. He's gonna test it. But he's getting better and better with his left. So like, that's what that found interesting with him this year. He's really trying. He's even driving more with his left actually, which he's actually working on the left side of the block a lot more too. So
yeah, exactly. So I think I like this process is my point, right? Like the process, I'm not beating up on Scotty for that shot at all. I think that was the right shot. I actually think that his offense today overall was pretty good. It was pretty solid. For the most part, it was good. Because I guess Darko figured one thing out over 4 years. He figured out how to get Barnes, his offense, in the right ways and put him in the right spots for him to be able to succeed as a player. So here's another, basically what we've been talking about for years. Turn him into a post player because, right now the perimeter skills are okay. He has more perimeter skills than a post player, but he doesn't have more, yeah, we get the point. So here's a good example, right? Again, his next shot down that he gets a chance. See, it's a little bit janky, but he has the right process. He's using his body, he's getting in, he's spinning in, and he's getting close to the hoop, and he's making easy offense. I don't know why he's like looking at the dude like I don't know even know who this dude is, but so as you all know, I don't like showboating, but hey, I'll take it. I'll take that. I think that's good. That's very good. That type of offense will get you to the line.
Yep, absolutely. I'm surprised we've talked so much about offense, considering they gave up 77 points at half.
It's not much to talk on the other end, so.
I just like, man. Oh, my kingdom for a proper center, please. Lord of mercy. Oh gosh, give me a center, please. That's what I want for Christmas. A center that can actually rebound and block shots. Please. Please, Santa, that's what I want.
By the way, Jordan Walsh is from the same draft as Grady.
Okay.
And they actually had a developmental plan for him, so they're actually playing him.
Yeah. I'm sure he makes mistakes every night too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
They brought him along slowly, but now he's playing on a consistent basis.
What a shock. Wow. And it seems like now if you're the fifth guy in this case in the lineup in this case with Quickly, Barnes, and Ingram, is like pretty much you're just out there just pretty much getting cardio in. Because be if it's Walter or Grady, you're just running back and forth like no one passes you the ball.
So tonight I saw that their transition defense was really piss poor. Like they're down piss poor. Yeah, they don't have much of a choice, Lee, but they also made this choice to do this, to see what they had. And the guys are producing.
Exactly.
And to be fair, they started playing these guys just a little bit, little by little. My point is that there was a developmental plan in place for these guys.
Well, the equivalent with what the Raptors would have done is, in this case here, Brandon, would have been if a veteran left, in this case, like Porzingis.
They would have signed two guys.
They would have signed somebody else instead of letting Walsh get to play. That's what we do.
So a good example, to your point, what are people asking for? Keon Ellis. Now, Keon Ellis would be better as a player for this team, but the problem with Keon Ellis is that Keon Ellis would also take away minutes from some of the younger guys. So, yeah. I'm not hearing any solutions. I
got a solution for you, but you may not want to hear it.
we proposed multiple solutions. I wouldn't be here in the first place, so that's the first thing. But the solution is that actually we have proposed solutions. If you've been listening,
hold on a second.
We started off by saying move away from Ochai to play younger guys to see what you have. There's no reason why CMB should not be playing in certain games like tonight. CMB should be playing. If you want to say that, fine, they want to play. Battle was injured today, but say they want to find minutes for AJ Lawson and stuff, then CMB should be getting minutes over Ochai. Like this is not rocket science here.
That's the point. These comments really just get me going.
It's like some indignantness.
Exactly.
Like,
they're going like, hold on, dude.
You proposed something. Oh, I just did.
Right.
What about you?
You watch basketball. We need a backup center. Your man Bobby Webster has been fooling around, farting around for 6 months in this case to a year, and won't get himself a backup center. That's the solution. That's one.
I will be Plymouth Rock for you.
Well, exactly.
I will land on it.
There's the bluntness. Get yourself a bloody backup center. That would be a start.
Yeah,
that would be a start. We suggested.
Do I think that they should re-sign Koloko? No, it's too late for that.
It's done. You passed that. You just did.
Ship has sailed. It's done.
You just did.
I don't think that there is a free agent center out there right now that will make a significant difference on this team, to be perfectly honest. I know that people have asked for a guy like Julian Reese to play. He's a G Leaguer.
Why not?
Like we have done this before, which is we have done band-aid solutions. And the what I'm proposing, HK, is not making band-aid solutions. It's thinking long term, which means that sometimes you're not going to answer all of the questions today, which means I would personally pick one thing. I would clean up the guard rotation. So I just said Ochai, even though he plays as a wing and a guard and sometimes a center and a ting and a ting and a ting, I would move him out. That would create minutes for guys. With whatever comes back, I would get a second round pick. Okay, that's what I would focus on because he's just taking up minutes.
Okay. This is the oh gosh. Okay, let me ask you this. I don't understand. This is what gets me so. Oh my gosh.
Why don't we have a shooting coach? Because we hired a thing called the NOAA board, and the NOAA board teaches people how to shoot apparently. So you can come off from like the YMCA, the local Y, and then you could go in and this robot teaches you how to shoot. And apparently that's magically supposed to teach everyone how to shoot. That's why we don't, because we don't believe in hiring people. We believe in the future.
I don't understand.
I'm being sarcastic, by the way, but that is actually what they've done.
I don't understand. Okay, like, and you kind of just dismissed the Julian Reese thing. I'm sitting there going like, okay, Julian Reese is like 21 years old.
He's 6'9", man. He's not. If you're complaining about Mamu, Mamu.
Yeah, but
I don't want to hear about Julian Reese.
It's something he offers that Mamu does not offer, which is physicality, the ability to block shots. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm sitting there going like, what's the sense of being? If hey, they sold us on this. Bobby, Masai, whoever is Teresa, they sold us that this man was a developmental guru. Well, what the hell what we doing? Where's the development then? That's why I just asked last night in space.
Well, there's your answer. Lee's saying he fouls. So apparently, if we're sitting CMB after 3 fouls, Julian Reese.
God forbid he fouls. Wow. Okay, he fouls.
Anyone that fouls is not allowed today.
Right. At least those guys are actually trying to be physical with some guys. Unlike the guys that play Matador defense right now. Ole. They don't foul though, but they give up 77 points and a half. Okay, that's the logic we're working with now. Okay, like I'm at this point, I'm just like I'm so disgusted. Honestly, I'm so disgusted by this group, by this franchise at times, man. It's like,
yeah. Do you see this?
No. I was
gonna just let you answer that. I'm just like, listen. As I said, every time this guy's about to get fired or get some heat and stuff like that, he donates to a children's hospital.
You said that.
It's just a pattern I'm noticing. Okay, I think that Darko is a very, very lovely man. I think he's a very wonderful person. I think he's improved as a coach. But I think that when he came here and and I gave him a chance, and then his first words were, "I'm going to make Precious Achiuwa a hub of an offense." I had multiple concerns about his acumen as a coach, regardless of his ability to talk about the theory of basketball. He can talk a good theory game, but the funny thing is that he's got away from his theory principles. Offensively, yes, we have revamped the offense, so those who love Darko, I think Darko has done a good job of modernizing the offense, and I do think that we needed to modernize the offense. I would have hired Jordy Fernandez. That's just me.
Has he really modernized the offense, though?
Yes, he has. Yeah.
Those clips you showed me there, that they modernized.
Not that.
Oh, really? Huh? That's what it is.
Because I do not.
Because he sold me the 0.5 offense, and we dribble handoffs, and everyone's gonna be moving around like a one unit, and this and that.
Listen, I didn't say what part of the game that he's revamped the offense. I just said that he is. I am trying to give a full and complete and wonderful take.
I didn't see your white paper on that one. It showed me exactly where he's revamped the offense after 25 games.
Well, you see, when you are defending a thesis, okay, you need to give the arguments as well as the counter arguments.
I see a lot of regression.
And the counter to the counter arguments, of course.
I know. Oh my gosh, man. This
Needless to say, it has been rough at times,
oh
but
my goodness.
the Raptors are fourth, I
Yes.
think, today.
Yes.
So again,
Yes.
uh, all I keep saying, people, is I'm not saying that they are the third worst team in the NBA, but I'm saying that they every single team below them between where they are and ninth
Hmm.
is separated. They all have 14 wins. They have 15 wins. So you have to figure these things out quickly, and make decisions very promptly. You cannot wait and wait and wait. Um, you cannot pull a Masai slash Bobby. I will combine the two together where you're waiting till last minute to make a decision. You have to make certain decisions on what you're going to do if you are serious about competing, especially if you're seeing that there are certain consistent flaws or holes on the team, which we have discussed.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah.
That is a stat. 30th in live ball creation. Yikes. Um, I 1,000% agree with you. They need to work on the developmental pipeline and get guys at every single position, which is why a guy like the guy that played 6 minutes today or 7 minutes, the Elijah Martin, that pick really confused me. Yeah, I did hear a rumor about this, but I wasn't sure if this was because someone said that this was posted on
Yeah.
the on
In the next
2024.
in the next game, he fell down, and I don't know. He stretched out his leg awkwardly. It didn't look good, but I don't.
This is clever.
I like that
James,
one.
We're trying to
Yeah,
get a
we're
pipeline.
trying, man. I try, man. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't know for the future of the week in this case here with the playing games. You mentioned it earlier when we're offline. Like they're fortunate that they're having playing games.
To be fair, he is also a Pistons fan, and the Pistons look great.
Yeah, exactly. Like I was looking at it from the standpoint of like I want to see competent management, competent roster construction, competent play calls, competent defense. I don't think that's hard to ask for if I'm sitting down here wasting my time for 2.5 hours every other night to ask for that. I don't know you guys. I don't know. I'm just saying these. H. Kashaf made a point. Well, what's the solution? These solutions are not hard. They're
No,
like crater size
it
things you're looking at.
it's not making panicked moves. So like, I'll use Brandon Ingram again. I'm not trying to beat up just on Brandon Ingram, but it's like not. You see Brandon Ingram maybe not doing the Brandon Ingram trade and holding on to that Pacers pick. I know everyone's like, well, you didn't know where the Pacers would be. Exactly. I didn't know where the Pacers would be. It's a top four protected pick. Um, that's a pretty damn good pick. In a draft that I'm gonna pretend like I'm Bobby that I said that was gonna be a good draft, that Masai had said was gonna be a good draft, and that my coach Darko said was gonna be a good draft in interviews. These are written in some cases. These are filmed things that they have all said or written in some way, shape, or form. These are quotes of them saying that the 2026 and the 2025 drafts were the drafts to really focus on. So if those are the drafts of the century, that forget about what the experts are saying, but if you were a trusted Masai guy, or you were these guys are so brilliant at whatever they do, which maybe they are for sure, but I'm not calling it to their acumen, but if that is the thing, then you have to follow through on that. If I think that I could win $1 million by going outside tomorrow and then I stay inside, what the heck did I do? Like,
I just, I
you can't zig while you are supposed to be zagging, while you literally just said, I am going to zag. The Brandon Ingram move, like, so by having an extra Pacers pick, whatever they had, they could have moved up and stuff like that. Let's hear
you
this.
literally could, you literally
Don't
could.
make me don't make me get frustrated. Okay. Come on, Kenyon trading okay. Here's my argument against this, okay? Even if you thought, because remember, that is the Pacers pick from this year. The current Pacers pick, which is not going to be the 30th pick. But even if you and they weren't that level that last year, they were
No, they were in
top
the
four.
late teens.
They were top four team, not like top one. even if you think that it's going to be that good of a draft, you still have 2 picks in a draft. If you think the draft is that deep, you can use your pick and that pick and move up. Number one. Number two, if you really have to get Brandon Ingram, I've said it here, I've said it on the timeline. There's some places that I haven't said. I didn't say it on the cookout because I don't go to the cookout, but where I have said it is multiple times here. You should have probably given a 2029 pick or a 2027 pick or a 2028 pick. Give a future pick from a draft that you do not value as highly as the 2026 draft. You are telling me that the draft is good. Do not trade out of that draft.
Why is this like almost like you literally could just record this and just keep playing it every year because
it's actually recorded. We are recording. We're live right now.
I know.
So save this, people, and replay the segment. And that's my answer.
Because like this is the Pearl argument. This is the Pearl argument. We've been down here before.
Yeah.
This is literally the Pearl
argument. It is actually the Pearl argument.
Yeah. Yes, that's my point. This is madness.
Where it's just like, oh well, but Pearl is this, and then like. Fast forward 2 years later, it's like, oh man, why is Pirtle like sitting out every 2 games?
Oh
like,
gosh,
oh man,
we
need a center. Well, you know what? Like we got a center. It's Pirtle.
So and the thing is, we picked the most. This is what I love with the Raptors organization these days. We picked the most incompatible players you could think of to run your.
Bobby make a deal before Trump touches his 3rd term.
Oh no, boy.
It's a valid question.
Yeah, oh, geez, I won't touch that one. I tell you, man, like we pick a guy, we pick a center that no one thinks in this case should be a modern day center, and we decide, we'll make it work. We pick a player in this case that no one was asking for. No one's asking for Brandon Ingram. No one's looking to make a deal for Brandon Ingram. No one's sitting a free agency saying, "Oh, we'll make a trade for Brandon Ingram." Of course, exactly, Daniel. That's my point.
His own agent said the same thing. He was like, "We were not getting that money."
No.
I'm not saying that he's not being paid appropriately or whatever. What I'm saying is that I don't think we could have easily. We would have had to do a lot of finagling to get a deal across the line in free agency. But like, if that's how you're acquiring guys, which is fine, then like. You're not going to be valuing the draft.
I'm going to ask you a question here. I don't know how much longer we'll be on here, but I'm seriously wondering this. If this team falls into the play-in, yeah, because I can only take so much of this. If we're in the play-in and we lose in this, like how we use in the last few years, right? And we lose in the play-in the first game, and we lose in the play-in. We don't make the playoffs. Are we fighting in a clean house?
Because okay. I'm gonna add to this scenario because this is exactly how it would happen. It's game like 70, right? Brandon Ingram's played a good 70 games. Okay, the Raptors are somehow struggling to 6th. Brandon Ingram gets hurt at game 70, and they drop like a rock going into the play-in. Suddenly they go from 6th, and they're like maybe like 9th, holding on, or 8th. 8th would be more embarrassing because they'd lose two in a row. Because Ingram's not there, and the offense just like goes because like you have no one drawing a double team, which means that Scotty has to get tougher buckets, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so if this happens, man, that's rough. If I were Bobby, I would pack my bags and not say anything.
This nonsense that you see what you just described, which is a very plausible scenario. These idiots in this case here will say, you know what? Oh. They will say, hey, you know what, man, once we got all the band together next year, we'll be okay then. We'll be all right then. Really? Really?
That's we'll get the band back together. That's right. In a week East next year when, that's right. Tatum's going to be back most likely by this year's playoffs. Hallie's going to be back. By the way, the Pacers are going to be back because they're going to have Hallie back. Plus, they're going to have a top 4 pick.
Right. Hey, by the way, remember all those guys when we were telling these guys in these spaces, all these different places, in this case here, who wanted to actually hear it? We said, don't dismiss Boston, and 2 of us were trying to tell them so. Remember that?
So this is a good question. Why can't we flip Ingram The problem is the GM. Well, yeah, of course it is a top-down issue. It's almost a society. It's a systemic issue. Because like I said, it's a puzzle that you got from a garage sale. That's really it's two puzzles into one, and there's some pieces missing.
Hey man,
Um,
Shaggy say he owns that trade, so be it now. So be it.
yes. Now the problem with trading Brandon Ingram is that he has a Gary Trent esque contract. In other words, he's a 2+1, and so really any any team that's trading for him is going to be in a tough spot because you may not be trading. I have to double check, but you may not be trading for his full bird rights until he opts into the deal.
Oh my gosh, did they get their executive skills out with Cracker Jack box? Like, I seriously, man, just giving away contracts left, right, and center here. If anybody's a free agent, and hey, my man there, Rich Paul, knew it already, man. Who's the sucker that we can always get a deal on? The Raptors when it's said and done.
Dan, listen. I'm not calling for people's jobs right now,
No, my
officially,
friend,
but I'm just saying I would have made different hires. That's all I'm saying.
Head up the further up the ladder, my friend. That ain't the one. That ain't the one.
Yeah. I still think this team is well, it's not that any team is good. I'm sure that the year that we won, that we got Kawhi, he thought we'd be good. I thought we'd be good that year too.
Whoa. I'll speak for myself on this one. Hold on, Brandon.
I'll let you speak for yourself.
Yeah, let's break this one out here, Brandon. Okay, let me make it clear.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna get some water.
I have no problem. I'm a Raptors fan, but I'm not going to sit here and blow smoke up you and think in this case here that we have a good team that is actually it's a flawed team. If I have 3 or 4 mediocre defenders starting in my starting lineup, I got Scotty Barnes chasing his backside trying to cover for all the other ones, and a bench in this case that is inconsistent with no backup center and poor point guard play, usually that does not equate to be a good team. I don't know what you want from me in this case here. Now, in this case, we've lost now 5 of the last 6. And now everyone's out here saying, like, oh, it's on me? No, dude. This is what y'all signed up for. All I'm saying is I thought this way from day one. But fair enough. If the team ends up playing well, great. My point is, where are we leading to? If the team ends up being top 6 teams like you say, you really think this is a team that's leading to go somewhere? Even if they get the top 6 you're saying, is it going somewhere, Brandon?
Yeah.
How it's constructed?
I think the argument is that, hey, to add to what you're saying, okay, they make the playoffs this year. Do you think that they can win a round or two? Because if the East is so weak, right? If the East is so weak, you should be going for it, right? But and you should think that the team could potentially win 2 rounds. That's what to me it sounds like. But there's not a lot of players that really put you over the top. We're not the problem is that a lot of people have been used to thinking that we're one move ahead, and we're not one or that we're one move away. We're a Kawhi move away. And as I said, number one, it wasn't just Kawhi. It was Kawhi and then having enough pieces to do the secondary moves. We don't have that.
Oh my God.
And we don't even and there's no Kawhi move to be made unless you really think that Kawhi is gonna get taken away from the Clippers because of the tree planting scandal thing, and then he's going to magically come back here, and then he's barely playing like 30 games a year, and has to take off everything.
The cold. He ain't coming back here. Let me ask you this: if we take Brandon's scenario, say they make it 6 or number 5 seed, in any of those playoff series, do we have the best player on the floor?
There is no Kawhi move. Stop. Sorry, Beyond. I don't mean to interrupt you, but we need to stop. There is no Kawhi move. There's no top 5 player because Kawhi was an MVP the year before that he got injured in the league. He was top 5 in MVP voting. There is no top 5 player in their prime available right now. The best you're looking for is a James Harden who is 35 years old.
I think he's hinting at someone that that lives in a place where they like Eli Bratwurst. I think that's what he's referring to.
Bratwurst. Are you talking about Zion?
No, we're talking about Giannis. That's where I think he's getting at.
Okay.
Because he would fit the bill.
I'll tell you right now, there is no Giannis move without a Scotty because of what they would want. And I would not do that deal. So a Giannis move would mean you're trading Scotty and then enough contracts to get up to 50, was it a 54 or 58 million that he's making right
Something like
now?
that.
Okay, Scotty makes 38. So you're adding a lot of contracts and probably maybe at least a pick because they have nothing to look forward to after they trade this guy. So from a Giannis perspective, Milwaukee is looking to basically have some sort of level of a guy who they can sell on a t-shirt, a ticket stub, or on TV. And there's only really one guy on this franchise that could do it. It's not going to be Brandon Ingram, where they're praying that he may, it has to be someone who's on a long-term deal or someone on a rookie scale deal. And CMB is not playing enough minutes here to get the job done. If it was Dylan Harper plus filler salary, that could get it done. Okay, so what Milwaukee is going to be looking for is they're thinking long term, and yeah,
Honestly,
we're saying
if it just put me on my misery, I'd do it.
yeah.
I just to get off the roller coaster, I'd do it.
See, Daniel has it. I would love this, but it ain't gonna be possible.
No, of
This,
course not.
but this is pragmatic. This is like
Yeah,
I would like a lot of things, but it's
yeah, I like a lot of things too. It's a time of year when people ask for a whole bunch of stuff.
yes. Beyond, what do you think about?
Okay, this is an interesting question. Okay,
It is a good question.
yeah, because the philosophy of just trying to outgun anyone and taking the old Denver Nuggets, Doug Most philosophy of just we're going to score 140. The problem with that is they don't have enough gifted offensive players to actually pull that off. That's the problem they have now. And the other problem they have is, which I think they were getting folks kind of caught on the back foot in the first 20 games of the season when their pace was fast enough that they could catch people off guard and stuff, especially with RJ in the lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know if I think the scouting reports are out now how to slow this team down to force them to play half court offense.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's going to get very difficult to do so, and you don't have enough skilled guys on the perimeter for you to actually produce the type of offense you're talking about that could outscore teams. Ironically, the team that was potentially could have done it, if you let it ride out for a little while, was the team that you had for about a month in January before you traded Siakam. That team potentially could have done it. They had enough.
That was the most balanced in terms of like you had guys at every position and guys at a certain level at every position. It wasn't the perfect roster.
No.
You almost wish it's like, okay, Kelly maybe in the hindsight being 2020, Kelly Olynyk may maybe aim higher, as they say, higher ambitions. But if they if after the OG deal, because you had a couple extra picks, if you use some of that extra stuff instead of going for Ochai, you went for something a little bit more, someone more middling, we'll say. Then you
But even with that team, if you had just played the scratch and you end up getting the same draft picks you have now with those guys in this case here, it might be a more potent offense. So you had your CMB still there, your Grady, your Walter, and they're getting like legitimate minutes in this case here. That might be a team that can actually just try to outscore teams. Now, said before, when the half court offense comes, it was going to be a problem because you don't have enough guys that actually can produce enough in the half court when you get late in games and tight games. That's why we struggle, and because we have a coach in this case that's poor in execution.
Do I think that the Hawks are? I think that the Hawks are interested. I don't know if they can pull the deal off. I know that Giannis is. I don't think that they ended up. Did they end up hiring him?
No, they didn't.
His agent. Okay, so I know his agent was interested in going there, so that would have been if they hired his agent, that would have been like probably a done deal. But I think.
You see, this is where, like Atlanta. This is what I'm talking about. Atlanta's the perfect example, right? Atlanta got rid of their executive, and they cleaned house, and they started moving pieces aggressively during the offseason. And they said, "This is the way we're going. All you vets, it's been fun, guys. Out the door."
Ultimately, Giannis wants to win, by the way. So it doesn't, and also he's under contract, so it doesn't really matter what he wants to do. He wants to win.
Yeah, exactly. So to me,
continue on.
That's just saying. Atlanta in this case here, they've cleared out house, and they now have a direction. And they now have.
Milwaukee's also going to do what's best for them at this point because they've done a lot to make Giannis happy.
Oh
and
yeah,
they've traded away their future. And they won. I'm not saying that he hasn't done it. He won them a championship, but they got to do what's best for them too.
yeah, for sure. And especially now with these bills coming due, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So no, I'm just saying, yeah, Atlanta's found a direction. That's why I was hoping the Raptors would do this offseason as well too.
Yeah.
They've created direction. They have the young players they want to play, and now they're playing. Now they're flourishing. You know, Risha Shay's looked pretty good this year. Jalen Johnson's looked like he's gonna be all-star this year. Like now we're talking about, okay, we have dudes in this case, you know, that we can rely on, and they throw in this case who they, you know, my man in this case here that's gonna start playing more minutes pretty soon. You know, they drafted as the first round pick. They have guys in this case that they rely on. They got rid of this case Capella, moved out all the dead weight, moved them all out. That's what you're supposed to do. But we find a way to complicate the issue.
The other
And we
thing that
don't.
the Hawks did, right, is that they weren't afraid to rectify past mistakes. So
Exactly.
they spent a lot getting DeJounte Murray. Okay.
Uh-huh.
They then traded DeJounte Murray, and they've kind of rebuilt their asset base,
Mm-hmm.
and they moved on with it.
Mm-hmm.
And in some ways, it might have felt like a half step back, but as we see, they didn't do too bad, did they? And then a lot of those guys are younger, and the team seems to fit better. And now, to your point, they're primed to go make a move. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that that is the move that's going to happen
Yeah.
ultimately. I think that there are people that can put up more. But that's not a bad. If you're Milwaukee and you're starting off, I mean, the problem is that it needs more picks, right? But
Right.
if you're Milwaukee and you're able to sell a Trae Young, just hypothetically, over the poo-poo platter that Raptors fans think that they can sell over like an RJ Barrett and a Quickly, you're selling Trae Young and a couple picks,
Oh,
and
God.
I don't know how to make the money work, but whatever. And then you're adding Rishiche, a former number one overall pick. You're at least in the mix a little bit more, from a cost and everything standpoint. But yeah. Um, well, HK, I don't know if you're subbed, but it sounds like you're in the right place. So like, comment, and subscribe on Basketball Rewind. Because yeah. So I'm supposed to think that that Atlanta is better than us. It's not a matter of Atlanta is better than us. It's a matter of are they poised to make moves and still have a team that is balanced. If you say because I'm gonna go with what I'm assuming that your thought is in terms of getting a Giannis. It's probably RJ and Quickly. It's not going to be Scotty. Okay, which already I just explained why that's probably not going to happen. But say you could do that. Okay, how is Giannis, Pirtle, and Scotty and Ingram going to play together?
Does the caller know or the comment know in this case here that the Atlanta's one game back from us right now? Like,
I was just gonna let that play itself
yeah,
out over the
I'm
course of
just
the
like,
season because
I'm like,
people, it's like everyone was. I'll give you an example. Brandon Lee, you probably dissed the Celtics at the start of the season. You probably said that the Celtics, because a lot of people told me the Celtics were going to tank, and I said I don't know if they're going to tank. I think they might be halfway decent. And I know it's very early on in the season. We'll see how the season plays out. But my point is that the East, for all the weakness of the East, there's a lot of teams that have between 15 and 14 wins. So you may not have said anything in particular, but a lot of Raptors fans said that we were way, way, way above a lot of these other teams. When I said it's more debatable than you think. I'm not saying, as I said, at the beginning of the season, I didn't say that they were going to be out of the play-in. I said that they would be in the play-in. As at 38 wins, they look like they will be better at this as currently constructed, but we will see. But ultimately, like it's not a guarantee that they are a top 6 team because you have Miami, Philly, Cleveland, and Atlanta all one game behind you, and so it's just if you have to win at a certain pace to keep it up.
just on a side note, Pacers 4 games back from the 10 seed.
So here's my argument for this, right? Of why that, well, yeah, with Milwaukee potentially, the
Yeah.
ejector seat. That could be interesting,
Just saying.
but we'll see. Uh, here's my argument with the Celtics. Right, why I thought that they wouldn't tank is because new ownership took over and they are building a stadium. Those are very expensive things. And so um, when you have new ownership, you're usually not looking to tank right away in a team that just recently won a championship. They also wanted to see what they could do. So the first thing that they did is clean up the tax bill. So a guy like Anthony Simons, he's an expiring. They might flip him at the deadline, by the way. But he's there. See what he has. If he works, he works. If he doesn't, okay. Well, you just sorted that out. Um, and so yeah, I mean, I just don't see it. A lot of people thought that we were way better than the Pistons. Now I didn't think so because I saw number one young team. They just had really good playoffs. We were on this channel. We all thought they would give the Knicks hell, but I thought that the Knicks would win in the end. But I thought that they would go 6 games. Went 6 games, and maybe if Beasley skipped a barber date, they might have won. So, but yeah, no. And by the way, Celtics actually do have their pick. They're they do have their
Brad
picks.
Stevens is nobody's fool, man.
So they could tank, but they don't have to.
They
Again,
have,
if this draft is good, having a pick or two, even if you're not tanking, is not a bad thing because it means more depth.
but I think the other thing too, when you hear those type of comments, people
Mm,
tend to forget they got another guy's probably a top 20 player in the league too. Like it's not like they got such scrubs sitting out there. It's one thing when you don't have another guy you can count on. They
yeah,
have that. So it's like they can rely on that and say, okay, we have that. And then you throw in Derek White in there. They have pieces to kind of like keep the ship afloat. And heck, if anything, now I think I mentioned you the other day. I just throwing out there. It's like I don't know, man. Like how Jaylen Brown's playing. This might be the best. Like I think this season might end up being a better season than any Tatum season. Like what he's doing. Like he's been unreal.
yeah. I should have drafted him for fantasy, but yeah, that's all another discussion.
And to
But
me, he's always been the better player of the two.
Pistons are about to get expensive. I put it in the comments, but I've heard 148 to 180 floated. So I don't think he's going to get the super max from the sounds of it. He
Don't worry about Detroit, man. Don't worry about it.
yeah, well, that's the other thing. Don't worry about it. But I mean,
We'll figure it
okay,
out.
so they have to pay Duran. You can pay up to three guys. But again, like I'm hearing, 148 to 180. Part of it is because he's been injured over the past couple years. So they're able to negotiate. But I don't think he's going to get the super max. They also have uh, Ron Holland, Jaden Ivey. They have Tobias Harris coming off the books soon. So they have a lot of young guys, but they also have guys that, as the team gets more expensive, that are naturally going to just age out of this team.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that cap wise, they're in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, okay, I'm less riled up than I was before. But yeah, at the end of the day, I
Maybe we
think that
stop talking about the
those
Raptors in this case. We're not less riled up in this case here. There's no it's a
they
court.
okay. So you think that they will be so basically still on this? Okay, so you think that they're going to be better than Miami? I mean, all of these things are possible, but they still have to do it, and it's still going to be very close. Asar needs to be healthy. I think you might be mixing him up with Amon, but he needs to be healthy. Like he missed a whole like half a season because of blood clotting. So he has to be healthy, and he has to do more than he has. He's improved, but this specific Thompson twin is I don't think he is going to be demanding big money. Um, he will get amply paid, but he's averaging like 12.6 rebounds, 3 assists. Like he's not an average. He's not going to get like big time money. So yeah. This is a good question. Why do Raptors fans see the Celtics big three are intact? Do you mean while they are intact, or okay? I I think he means while they're intact. Why do Raptors fans see what Brandon Lee is seeing? It's a good question. I think there's nothing wrong with so you and I actually had this discussion. This is kind of a good way to kind of segue towards an end of the overall discussion because this has been a longer pod, but a fun pod. Um, I think Raptors fans and fan bases in general, but you know, I I think that they see their team, and in a way, they're used to us being one move away. So they're not used to seeing us in a way where maybe we need to not even take a full step back, but like trading Ochai for a second rounder isn't a sexy move, right? But like kind of being patient for half a year. And part of it is because we've been so directionless for so long that when we have a half direction, it's kind of like, well, what should we do? I don't know. Am I making sense here or no?
No, you're making sense. I think this franchise historically has trained this fan base to think that way because we've never held on to our young players long enough for it to watch them grow. You hear all these Raptor fans talk, oh, we're going to be OKC or we're going to be the Pacers. We don't do that. Throughout this history of this franchise, we'll get maybe one or two young guys, and the moment we get to a third young guy, someone's moving off because of whatever reason, and we're back at square one again. Even the team that was winning 50 plus games in this case, that team, don't forget, that team was about to get broken up itself.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're talking about when they almost traded Lowry and stuff like that, right?
Rudy Gay, Lowry's the next out the door. So that was only
we've rarely had multiple top 20 players on a team at a single time at the right ages as well. Because, like, for example, if you think about it, it's like almost a shame that Lowry wasn't like a few years younger than he was. Because they could have kept it going for a bit longer.
Right, that's right. But that's the closest we've seen in this case of that type of sustained thing. But we rarely see that. We had Damon Stoudemire, then it went to that, and we had him and Camby, and then that flew up. Then we go Tracy McGrady was the third pick. It's like, okay, we'll start with him, and then you get the Cousins. Like, okay, we got a tandem for life. We know how that went history wise. Then it was Carter and Bosch. It's like, okay, maybe have something. Then that went to poop again. Then it was Bosch, and we see, okay, maybe we'll build some young guys around him. Nope, that didn't work. That was out the door. And then we're back at it again, where we finally get a few top players where we get a number 9 pick, DeRozan, a number 4 pick in JV, the Lowry pick, and I can't remember who else was in that top.
Well, Lowry was traded for.
Lowry's traded for it, and then
Terrence Ross was supposed to be Giannis, actually.
Right, and Terrence Ross was the pick that we had at the time. That was the other major top pick. And obviously, he turned to Ibaka. But, that was the closest where we actually did what we should have been doing. And it's like, and I think the Raptor fan base is just used to thinking that it works out. We just get ourselves a star and trade it, and voila. No,
or they'll see someone kind of pop off, and they'll say, "Oh, like automatically, ergo, this person pops off. Trade the old dude away rather than keep him."
Yeah, which is right. Which
like that. A good example is how many some Raptor fans are too young to remember this. Some will remember this. There was discussions about would Terrence Ross be better than DeMar DeRozan? And should they trade DeMar DeRozan because Terrence Ross would be better than DeMar DeRozan?
I remember that. I was waiting for a half a season.
This is a real discussion that happened.
Yeah, because he scored 50 against the Clippers, and everybody say, "Well, you know what? Did we really get this DeRozan guy afterwards?" Like that's and that's the way how Raptor fans seem to they don't give the young players a chance to grow together. They feel like it's almost like pretty much like Survivor. It's like one can only stay on the island. Everyone else got to come off with the tiki torches. I don't understand. That's not how it works. That you need about 2 to 3 young fellows, to grow together, and then you get the big free agent that comes in as the guy to solidify it. That's how you do it, But the Raptors, have been kind of, I said before, it's been kind of this ingrained in them for how this franchise has been. That's the expectation. It's like, okay, the moment we get a couple good guys, let's just trade one. Well, okay. I mean, and the problem we have with this particular team is we don't have enough high-end blue chip talent right now for us to be a serious contender. But we're maybe just competent enough in this case not to be absolutely hot garbage. So now we're in the purgatory.
Literally exactly right in the middle.
Right.
I and right where Messiah had promised us not to be, actually, which is funny. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, when we're talking about a few things, let's just get a few things kind of ironed out before we close out here. Number one, like you're saying that we don't get free agents. We technically just got one. And his name is Brandon Ingram. Um, but the other thing is that that's not the way to build it. You can build a team in two ways. You can either build it through trade or build it through the draft. And what we're saying is, at some point, if you are saying that the draft is so important, because Brandon Lee, you are someone that was a trust and Masai guy, then if Masai and Bobby and Darko are all telling me that the draft is the way to build and that these specific drafts are the way to build, then you have to build through the draft and build through the draft. Build through the draft. Don't trade away that draft pick. Um,
I think the
the other,
free agent, yeah. I
the
just say
other,
that. Go
yeah.
ahead.
No,
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 go-
yeah. I was just gonna say the other thing is the free agency thing. People have to understand that in general, there's only really two teams that are building through free agency, and with the new CBA, it's gonna get harder to build through free agency. So we got to stop thinking of free agency as the only way to build a team. This isn't the Blue Jays,
how
but
many?
you were
Well, that's a baseball model that works successfully. That's not a basketball model that works successfully. Unless you're the
and it,
Miami
yeah.
Heat, that was the only team that I could think of in the recent history that actually built through free agency and
I
won
guess technically
championships.
the Lakers
Yeah, I guess technically the
because they got
Lakers.
LeBron, right? And then
Right,
like
yeah,
from
LeBron,
LeBron, they
yeah,
went
they
and got
traded for Davis, yeah,
AD and all that.
and that's a yeah, and then, but that's about it. Like, look,
Because everyone talks about the Knicks. The Knicks have
right.
which free agent have the Knicks signed in the past
I
10
say
years?
that all the time. I say, right. It's like I
The
say it all
Knicks
the
are a big
time.
market. The Knicks
Yeah,
are the mecca.
and
They
it
have
was
signed zero people.
Jalen Brunson. And it wasn't like he was like the cat's meow in this case here for free agents.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
no, no.
you know,
Like I mean, big time free agent.
right,
Like
big
Jalen
time
Brunson
free
turned
agent.
it, but like yes,
Right. So this idea that free agency is the way to go, it's
the
like that's
the
not how.
Nets are the only other one. So the Nets actually.
Well, the Nets are
The
the heart. They're the thing for saying why you don't do free agency.
that is true.
Yeah.
And the Warriors technically, but that was a very special case
But,
that
but
is not
but
going to likely happen again. Like
but even with their free agency, they won a championship with all their draft picks. The
yeah,
core of that team is their drafts.
yes,
You
yes.
know, right?
And they
So
and then before that they had almost won with their draft pick. So
right. They
yeah.
added Iguodala as a free agent, which is the way I said before. You always add that one free agent at some point, but they built through the
But
draft in this
I
case.
guess my point is like in terms of like big time free agencies, free agents like moving team to team.
Yeah,
It's like the Warriors are like one of the only ones where it's like they signed a guy and they won, right? So
right.
is yeah, but yeah, like my point is that like you like Brandon, you're making my point for me.
Yeah,
You got to respect the draft, and they haven't respected the draft. And like they could have tanked more last year. They weren't trying to tank. They could have tanked more, right?
right,
There were times where like there were times where it's like, why are we playing Chris Boucher when we should be trading Boucher, right? We didn't trade Boucher. We played him, and he ended up winning you basically 6 extra games. Go
mm-hmm.
back, look at the standings, and see where you would have ended up. And for you to say, "Oh well, we wouldn't have won the lottery," we would
So,
have been picking fifth or sixth then,
right. A better quality draft pick. And here's the
which would
thing.
have you have more options at six. You could have been
And
picking Ace
ironically,
Bailey instead of
right. Ironically, the team we played tonight, they respect the draft. For a decade, their team's pretty much been built off of like major cogs from the draft.
That is true.
Tonight, I actually figured that out tonight. They got about 7, 8 dudes from the draft from their own drafts. They're playing out there for their rotation.
And I'll say another thing in terms of the Celtics, they're probably not going to be worse than us because they're playing in a very good way. But here's the other thing: Tatum could be back by the end of the season, and there's a good chance that he will be back by the end of the season. And I'm not saying he's going to be back in February, but I'm saying by the end of the season, as long as they're in the mix, he is a competitor. He is going to want to play, right? And you're also making my point about Canada and stuff like that. Yes, there's the right player if they're willing to. Will I mean Chris Boucher had a full nationally syndicated podcast that he didn't pay for. Okay, you're not getting that as a bench player anywhere else in the league. You're paying for that yourself. You're not getting no Yahoo, talks with Chris type thing. So I think that the thing is that always beating on your own city. Like again, I've told people, if you're gonna take anything away from the Messiah years, he's told people, believe in yourself, believe in the city. And I think that Raptors fans have to believe in themselves, believe in the city, but also understand that this takes time to do it properly, to have sustainable winning. And again, what did I say? Tatum could be back by the end of the season, right?
But yeah,
It's not all doom and gloom. We're not like terrible, but yeah.
no, it's like, but things could change very fast, is what I'm saying, and I think that's the part I'm trying to tell Raptor fans, like, just slow it down a little bit. There's some major flaws in this team that are not going to get fixed in this case here by just a couple little changes in the rotation. Um, some of it can, but a lot of it cannot because of the roster construction and based on how this team looks and based on, to your point, other teams figuring themselves out now and now got the scouting report on you. It's going to get rough, man. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to get rough.
Yeah. I think the key thing here is that if I'll put it this way, it'd be very interesting if we had a worse record. Say we had 10 wins. Sorry, let me just say, yeah, 10 wins. I'm just like, is it the end of the season now? So say you're 10 wins. That would put you at 10th spot, or even 12 wins this year, right? And you had Dylan Harper. It'd make you feel a little different.
That's the thing, right? Because the other part too is,
I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, younger players give you a chance to raise your ceiling if you let them play. If you let them play, right? You guys, these guys like to talk about the phrase internal growth, internal development, but they don't really stick by it.
So going back full circle, we talked about CMB. It's like we have a top 10 pick. We're not playing him in games that we really should be playing him. So that's a problem. And that's not really helping the team to be better. It's not helping the team to be better than the three teams that you listed. And it's not helping the player to be better either. Could you trade Ochai for a second? Yeah, I mean, obviously you can. It'll depend on what's coming back. So maybe you're helping someone to get off, get off a contract or whatever. It's not going to be a sexy move. Listen, man, you know who liked VJ here, and it's these two guys. There was Caribbean agenda as a part of it from my standpoint, but VJ would have looked nice. VJ would have looked nice, or Trey Johnson, right? So I think, and it's not me saying, "Oh, the season's over," but it's just like if you're gonna decide that the season is gonna mean something, then you have to target the right person. If you don't value the draft, then acquire talent. It doesn't have to be Giannis talent, but acquire young talent. Maybe it's Trey Murphy. Maybe it's what I don't know. Someone else can you can play the trade machine. Do a YouTube channel after subscribing here, and I'll subscribe to your channel and I'll go watch that video. But because I don't want to spend like hours and hours on trade machines with weird trades that half of which will not work. But go and acquire young talent or do it through the draft. That's it. Do not trade this year's draft pick. So yeah. Final thoughts about the Raptors, because this went in a very different way than I thought.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I am curious to see how they come out the next couple of weeks, and I think, you summed it up, man. Like, if they want this team to grow with what's remaining here, then they gotta let the young guys play, because that's the only way it's gonna actually improve. Because the rest of the guys are what they are at this point.
Yeah, this is a good example, and this is why I say fast evaluations are the key moving forward. You have to see what you have, whether it's Scotty on down. With Scotty, we kind of know at this point, but like you have to know what you have with the other guys, because again, you have to know how these things fit before you go and pay IQ, who you have restricted free agency rights on, uh, an exorbitant amount of money, and hoping that he is hitting all of his shots because he can't be a point guard. We we could be positive about the team. They've taken steps forward, but we also have to say, like, is it working? And I think it's healthy to poke holes in what's working, because as HK was asking, well, what's the solutions? You can't get to the solutions unless you're pointing out the problems. And we've also talked about some of the solutions here. The solutions are easy. They're long term solutions. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't still love the Raptors. The Raptors, you know, have been definitely far more entertaining than they are last year.
Yeah, there's some positive things. Like Scotty's improvement has been good. Um, I think that's been a good sign. I think, funny enough, Mamu's had some moments that have been nice. I think he's been overplayed a little bit, but he's had some nice moments. I think there's been moments of seeing Brandon Ingram. I think actually the brightest story outside of Scotty in this case here, unfortunately, he's hurt, is RJ.
Yeah, he was having a great year. Yeah.
RJ, we're really having a fantastic season, and it's unfortunate that he's been hurt because I think that does kind of cloud this situation a little bit because I'm not sure how much he would help in some of these games. There's no two ways about it. They would help, but like to your point, it comes down to where are we going with this team when it's all said and done, and it's like that's my frustration. I think that maybe folks are seeing. Not that I don't like the Raptors. Of course, I like the Raptors. I love the Raptors. I got Raptors gear all over the place, man. I grew up hoping for a team in this city. All right. And you guys in this case are younger than me, man. You guys are fortunate. You've only known one thing, having a basketball team in the city. I and some others in this case that have been around for a minute, we haven't had a chance in this case. So I have a great appreciation seeing a team in this city because for years we didn't have one as a kid. So I want to see this team continue to be successful. All I'm saying is like there's so many. As it go back to Kashaf, I think is like when you talk about the solutions. The part that frustrates me is the solutions are sitting there. They're so obvious. Sometimes for some teams it's like kind of hard to figure out where you got to make the move. That's not the case of the Raptors. They're the size of craters. Like it's so easy to see. And you're
clean up the stuff, evaluate properly, be
yes,
patient, make smart draft moves.
yes.
Don't make drastic moves. If they want to make, I mean, we've talked about like if they wanted to make drastic moves, there's certain moves that they. I don't like the names that are out there, but like it's like getting. Okay, I'm not advocating for Jaw. I'm saying like, because I don't want Jaw. Want to be clear, but like that's the type of guy that if you're trying to build a core for the future, you're trying to identify a guy in that age range. Not that guy, but someone in that age range, and then you go for it. I don't know if there is someone that exists. So it'd be like the equivalent of the Jalen Green move
Mm-hmm.
that was made. Like that's the type of thing that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is a good example. James hit it on the head. Drafting players that are over 6'2",
We should,
that's the solution.
we should sum it up there, man. Let's leave it there. That's the night. James shut
That
it
is the solution. If you want to start with that. That is we already talked about step one, which is Ochai. Step
Yeah.
two is right there. This is
Oh my
step two.
god.
People,
I got nothing to say. I'm done, man. That's it, man. James shut it down. As far as I'm
shut
concerned.
it down. Great way to end it. People, we are on our way to 500 subscribers first and foremost. We would really appreciate your if you like this content, if you like this banter. We also do full breakdowns and stuff like that as well when I have the chance. Grady ain't doing so well, so I held back the Grady video. But in general,
Man,
I
put it
do
out, man.
yeah. I
Put
will
it
just
out.
because I've put so much time and effort
Yeah,
into
man. Let me see what it used to look like, man. Put it out, man, because I miss seeing some of
yeah.
that
It's
stuff,
like
man. That
I
was
should put a disclaimer at the end. It's like this is outdated, but
yeah, this is what it used to look like, guys.
yeah,
Jim
yeah,
love to play basketball.
yes. But yeah, people like, comment, and subscribe. We really appreciate this stuff. And of course, yeah, appreciate it. Take care, people, and peace. And beyond, it's always great chopping up with you, Coach.
Yeah.
We there's we're warming the seat for you. The I will also just say one thing. You know, people. I don't know. Those of you who said that they would win 8 to 9 games, Blackhawk, it's looking a little tough for the month of December. So we'll see. We will see. It's not over yet though. So we're not done. We're not done. We're not done. Take care, people. Peace. All right. Thanks.